think I need to do a proper review of Lower Decks Episode 1. Hello everyone, I am Mecha Random 42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube consumer advocate, Harpy, and the Lower Decks Episode 1 has dropped. I do need to adjust a couple of things before we get started. Not Bree. Not Bree. What else could possibly go wrong today? More Bree jump scares. Seriously? We don't need any more Bree jump scares.
Please like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, keep your comments to yourself.
Bree, do not lecture my viewers. They're perfectly welcome to dislike the video or disagree with me if they so choose. I won't debate them, of course, but they can disagree with me. That's better. Much better. Also, one more. Oh yeah, it's one of these videos. There it is. Delayed magic. Well, that one's on time at least. There are things I do like about this show. It looks visually Trek-ish. The scenes look very Trek-like. They get little details. The L-cars, the ship, the hallways, the corridors. They get the holodeck right. They get a lot of things visually correct with this. So much of it. And then there's some garbage. There you go, the design of the ship. You have the schematics right there. I don't know how correct they are, but they at least try to pay attention to the visual continuity and canon. This show does something that none of the modern Trek shows do. But it manages to be 10 times worse than any of them. This is lawless teens in space, but it's not even supposed to be that show. This is a bunch of shrill, annoying, yelling people talking over each other, being super disrespectful to each other, having no chain of command, no integrity, no military chain of command at all. They don't understand how to follow orders. Not only that, they've just completely disregarded the fact that you would not have, and full spoilers, they disregarded the fact that you would not have a mother and daughter serve on the same ship as commanding officer and subordinate. This does everything that we were afraid the Orville was going to do, only 10 times worse. It is the parody of Star Trek. It talks down to Star Trek. It mocks Star Trek. And it has none of the spirit of Star Trek. It has none of the camaraderie and compassion and intelligence. And that is the biggest problem with this. And I'm going to try and keep this review short because I do have my full hour or so reaction. I don't know which one's going to go up first, but we did a live reaction today where I was yelling for about an hour and 45 minutes about this. If you want to see step by step, breakdown by breakdown, scene by scene, I cannot stress how irritating these characters on this show are when they're just talking over each other, when they're prioritizing hooking up and making out instead of, solving the urgent life or death situation, when they have just the blatant disregard for rules and regulations and safety, the things that would get your entire ship killed for, your entire crew killed for. They have no regard for it. They don't care. They are the worst of the worst. And I've ranted about this quite a bit today. In the future, you need your best and your brightest out there. And you know what? Your best and your brightest aren't always going to be the captain because they're not always going to have the career ambitions. They're not always going to have the the aspirations to be commander. They might just aspire to be the scientist or the counselor. That might be their end goal. But they're still going to put the priority of their ship and the safety of their crew and solving the urgent life and death situations on top of being right, on top of needing to prove a point, on top of needing to talk down to a fellow officer. There's a part in this where they're off on a planet, and the captain of the ship, who's Ensign, Patleth wieldy, irresponsible ADHD. This isn't the episode where she's singing about the blast shield. At least this isn't that episode. But there's part of this where she just wants to be right. Where she just wants to be right about this giant spider on this. Oh, and those little aliens are really, really cute. But she just wants to argue and be right. Instead of, I don't know, prioritizing, explaining her plan, any of that stuff. This show, you can see everything coming a mile away. You can see the problem and resolution. It is very formulaic. It is very generic. It is very run-of-the-mill. We know what's coming, sort of science fiction. The whole plot of this is they're on a second contact with these cute little pig guys, and one of the main officers on the ship ends up, let me see if I can cue that up here. He ends up getting bit on the neck. This guy here on the one with the beard. He ends up getting bit on the neck by something, or he comes back with something. I was not even paying that close attention to it because I was just raging every 5 seconds. You have to pause it because they keep throwing things at the screen constantly. Just scene constantly. Just to distract you from how bad it is, just so you don't have time to process how bad it is. So he's got this rash on his neck that turns him into basically a zombie, that he spews bile and I guess he eats flesh. Oh, but not that much, just a little. There's a joke. Not one of these jokes in the show land, because none of the humor is actually Star Trek humor. It's all parody humor. It's all parody. It's all not another teen movie sort of parody humor. Like they're making fun of Star Trek. Like they don't like it. Really. You're supposed to get Star Trek right before you tear it down or joke about it or parody it. You can make jokes about little errors in canon. You can make jokes about things in a respectful manner. They're not doing that, though. They're not. And, of course, so this guy's running around with... he basically turns into a zombie. Meanwhile, Ensign Purple Hair here, who's pretty much supposed to be like Rimmer from Red Dwarf, but not really. He's very by the book. He's very regulation. And they talk down to him for it. Obviously, they have no respect for Starfleet officers who actually want to follow the rules. He's sent on an assignment to babysit Ensign irresponsible captain's daughter, literally. And he ends up getting chewed on by this giant spider on the cute pig planet. And of course, you see it coming a mile away. Oh, that's going to be that goo that he's slathered in. That's going to be the thing that saves the day later on, right? It's very generic, basic, by the book, by the numbers, bottom of the barrel, run-of-the-mill science fiction story in a Star Trek parody setting. It is not good Star Trek. It is not good entertainment. It is annoying at best, and it is just background noise at worst. And that's the problem with it. And I don't want to play too much of this. I don't want to have more than just still frames up on screen here. Because they like to go a little copyright happy. It is a lot of annoying people talking over each other, annoying sounds, a lot of annoying yelling, screaming, action, scene, so you can't process anything. It is worse than Picard. How? And this is the one I said, you know what? I might actually give this one a reason to exist. I might have some enjoyment out of this because at least it looks like Star Trek. At least it looks very visually similar to what I want Star Trek to look like. But no. This is like if everybody in the Discovery universe, all the idiots that were running around on that ship, evolved into these. This is the idiocracy future of Star Trek. And I cannot have any respect for this. I am disappointed. I didn't think I would be this disappointed. I thought, okay, it'd just be a little irritating, but it wouldn't be my cup of tea. It would just be a lot of visual gags and stupid crap, and I could get over it. No, it's even worse. It's even worse. And I sat through Picard and Discovery and the short treks.
Short in matters, vegetable, animal, and mineral. You are the very model of a modern Major General.
No. I cannot rate this as a Star Trek show. I can only rate this as something that I just wouldn't watch. If this were like a Final Space or a Rick and Morty version of a Star Trek with, whatever fake, let's just call it a Space Force or something, I wouldn't like it. It wouldn't work outside of anything. It wouldn't work. I don't think this would work in the Rick and Morty universe. I can't score this as a Star Trek show because it's not a Star Trek show. But I can score this as a piece of entertainment. I was not entertained. I was not amused. I did not enjoy this. I wanted it to stop and go away and shut up. I gotta give this a 2 out of 10. Only because I liked the Elcars. I liked the way the ship looked, and I liked some of the stuff that was going on if you mute it and just look at it sometimes, from time to time, when it's not being really gross. Because when it's not looking like Star Trek, it's being disgusting and gross. You see naked butts all over the place. You see gore. You see violence. You see just gross yuck. Ugh. I don't want to look at that on screen. 2 out of 10. Be better. Do better. Star Trek. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!
I just see